Welcome to the Tea of Life podcast, where our mission is to transform every attitude of life by encouraging and equipping you to live the life you love and love the life you live. I am your host, Tiffany Thompson. A few days ago, I posted a picture with a comment on Facebook that has gotten quite a bit of attraction. The comment was this: some may say that purchasing a sailboat is not a smart investment, that paying monthly docking fees is a waste of money. I could not disagree more. We have less than 76 weeks until this guy, I posted a picture of my son, turns 18. Spending every smidgen of time with him and doing as a family what he has grown to love is a proper investment. An investment with a magnitude of infinite return. Two of my favorite quotes from Andy Stanley are, "You never know what hangs in the balance of doing the very thing that God is calling you to do," and "Your greatest contribution to the kingdom of God may not be what you do, but who you raise." If we would have given way to our every excuse to wait until this or then, or until time gave way to whatever, we would have missed the opportunity for this bonding and for these incredible memories. Do what it takes to invest in your kids. Do something crazy. Do something out of the ordinary. Do something they love. Insert yourself into their world for a bit. Don't be afraid. Take a chance. Just go for it. And then I ended it with #no regrets. If you personally know my husband and me, or you've been listening for a while, you will know that we are proponents of being a debt-free family and encouragers of you also becoming debt-free in order to pursue the life that you want to live. Being debt-free means that you can live more, give more, do more. Life is just better when you have no debt. About a year and a half ago, my husband started introducing the possibilities of purchasing a sailboat for our family. He grew up sailing, but I did not, and neither did either one of our kids. I have never been a huge lover of water, and I'm still not, but I'm learning to be more comfortable being on the water. We were looking for something new to do as a family, and we had lots of other adventures, so we wanted to add something else to the mix. So we ventured out to find the perfect sailboat for our family. We found many, and many were way over the budget that we had set for ourselves, a budget that we may not have been able to meet had we not already been debt-free and not living paycheck to paycheck. After months of searching, we finally found the perfect boat for our family, and we made an offer and purchased it. The boat needed a lot of cleaning and some work to get it into tip-top shape. And we, as a family, worked our tails off on getting this boat ready to sell. S-A-I-L. During this process, we decided to go as a family and take the ASA training, which is from the American Sailing Association. We went down to Pensacola, Florida, down to the Gulf, and took the training there to become ASA certified. Again, something that we probably could not have taken advantage of and just decided to do on a whim if we weren't already debt-free. So this boat was on the smaller side, and we quickly grew out of it, but we were able to sell, S-E-L-L, this boat for a profit and upgrade to an even bigger boat, again, paid for in cash. Our oldest son is 16 and a half, and as I mentioned earlier, we have only 76 more weeks until he turns 18. I can't even believe it. So because of this, we decided that family adventures were going to be a top priority for our family. These adventures come with a price, though. And because we're debt-free and living below our means, we're able to invest our money in ways that we desire and ways that we choose. So Brandon and I have been married for 21 years, almost 22 years. We entered our marriage debt-free, and for the first 4 years of our marriage, we lived on $14,500 a year. I do talk about this and our debt-free story in my episode on budgeting, which is episode number 36, and I will put a link to that in our show notes. So we've been debt-free for 15 years of our 21-year marriage because at one point, We thought we needed more than what we had, so we went into debt and we bought a minivan and we bought a house and we got a credit card and we started buying things that we thought we deserved rather than buying things that we actually had the money to pay for. So after a couple of years of living paycheck to paycheck and sometimes not even making it that far, we had already had enough. So we decided to buckle down and pay off the debt that we had so quickly accumulated, and so easily, I might add. Now, being that we've worked so hard at continuing to be debt-free means that we can spontaneously decide to purchase a sailboat for our family. For anyone who does not have the extra money to spend this way, this may not be such an easy task. This is why it's so important to decide to be debt-free when your kids are younger. When you're having to make decisions that impact your family financially so that you can become more financially independent, the impact on your kids is different when they are 6 versus 16. If we were just now deciding to become debt-free and needed to get a second or third job delivering pizzas at night on the weekends or whatever, we would miss the last 2 years of our kids being kids. When our kids are teenagers, they are more active in outside activities that require transportation, motivation, participation from us. And if we're out delivering pizzas or doing whatever job we took in order to make extra money to make our ends meet or pay off debt, this would mean that we would be missing the last opportunities that we have as parents to spend every smidgen of time with them before they become adults themselves. Getting out of debt either before you have kids or while they are young is so important because when they're teenagers, you don't need any more distraction than you already have just with them being teenagers. You don't need any more distraction taking you away from some of the most influential years of their lives when they really need you to help them through really tough emotional years. You're going to wish that you could have been there for them, and you won't be able to if you're never home because you're out paying off debt that you probably can't even remember how you really accumulated in the first place. You know you spent money. There's obviously evidence for that, but you don't really remember exactly what you spent money on, right? There's always the argument that at that age, our kids can see us working hard to pay off debt, and we could be a good example to them at that age because they will see what debt has done to the family and make them not want to have any part of it. Unfortunately, that's not usually how it works. You may also say that they will also see how hard we've worked to pay it off and to change our family tree. Yeah, maybe. But what about the example of never getting into debt to begin with? It's way easier to continue a path that you have set for your children at an early age than it is to change the path while your children are teenagers and they're already set in their ways and expectations. Never knowing another way of life is way easier to continue rather than suddenly telling them that they cannot spend any more money. And oh yeah, you're not going to see mom or dad for a while because they're going to be out trying to pay off debt. Good luck with your ball game tonight. Hope you win. Recently, I came across quite a few quotes on Pinterest inspiring us to take more time with our kids. Some of the quotes went like this. You will never look back on life and think, I spent too much time with my kids. The best thing you can spend on your kids is time. Let's fill our houses with memories instead of things, moments instead of distractions. Kids don't need things. Kids need parents who spend time with them. The days are long, but the years are short. To a child, love is spelled T-I-M-E. So those are just a few of the quotes that I found, but my point here is this. If you suddenly wake up and your kid is 16 and you suddenly decide that enough is enough with your debt, you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck and sometimes not even being that lucky, and you decide that you want to get out of debt as quickly as possible, you're going to miss the last 2 critical and influential years of your child's life before they become an official adult themselves. That would totally suck. And it's probably something that you're going to look back on and wish that you'd never missed out on. If your kids are younger, get out of debt now while you still have time. If your kids are older, maybe getting out of debt is not what you need to be focusing on right now. I know I just said that, but for real, don't get me wrong. A definite attitude and life change is what needs to happen. You need to immediately change your behavior patterns and learn how to say no to going deeper into debt. Stop the madness. Say no to more stuff. No one cares what you have or don't have. Seriously, no one cares. They are too busy caring about what they do or don't have to care anything about your stuff. And you are not your stuff. Remember, you are not your stuff. What you own or don't own does not define you. You define you, not your stuff. Time with your kids is way more important than anything you could ever possibly own. Never going into debt in the first place is an option. Own less stuff, spend more time. Do what it takes to invest in your kids. Do something crazy. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Do something out of the ordinary, like buying a sailboat or just inviting them to do something with you. Do something they love, like going for a walk or a bike ride, or for heaven's sake, play that video game with them. Watch that episode of Avengers where you have no clue who any of the characters are in the storyline. Act like you do, and act like it's the greatest movie ever. Insert yourself into their world for a bit. They will talk to you if you will just listen. Don't be afraid. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. Take a chance. Don't let anyone tell you that you shouldn't. Just go for it. I promise that if you do, you will have no regrets. Leave me a comment and let me know what you're doing in order to have no regrets with your kids. If you're struggling and you're not quite there yet, let me know that too. I would love to have the opportunity to converse with you. Thanks for listening. If you like Tea of Life podcast and you've got two friends who want to create the life that they love to live, tell them about us. Find us on your favorite social media platform like Facebook or Instagram. Also, right now before you forget, go to Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts and search for Tea of Life podcast. Hit the subscribe button and never miss an episode. Thank you for listening to Tea of Life podcast. We'll see you next Monday.